Hello, people. Um, Welcome. My name is Benjamin. Um, this afternoon, I want us to look at how it can be easy for us to use the Google Classroom. All right. Now, if you were part of the video conferencing we had some days back, we have covered most of this topic, but we I'm just making this video as a reference so that people can find it easy to navigate through classroom and have something they can fall back to in case they have problems. So that's why I'm making this video. I hope you find it useful. Alright, so uh, to start, you open up your browser, you come to classroom.google.com, and you'll be automatically redirected to this blank canvas here with all these controls up here. Now this is because I've already signed in with my Gmail account, and it's live, okay? But if you haven't signed into your Gmail account, your browser will redirect you to where you can sign in with your Gmail account. Okay, can be a personal Gmail account or an institutional account if you have G Suite education package. But for the purpose of this lesson, I'm using my personal Gmail account. So please follow along as much as you can. If not, you can just watch through, and anywhere you have a problem, rewind and rewatch so that you can learn it perfectly. Okay, so the first thing to do is to click on this plus button. It says create or join the class. Right now, I don't have any class created, no students, no teachers, just a blank page for me. So I click on create or join class. I am a teacher, so what I have to do is to create class. If it's your students that came to classroom.google.com, they will need to click on join class, and from there it will ask them to enter a class code. So click on cancel. I go back to create class. Now you click on I've read and understand the above notice, and I'm not using classroom at a school with students. Okay, so just click on agree and continue. Okay, we have this pop-up in front of us where we need to fill in the class name, the section, the subject, and the room. So please, um, for the sake of our school, please just follow this convention to name your classroom, so it will be easy for others to identify what is going on. So the class name, of course, could be anything that it has been named before in the physical school when this lockdown has not happened. So in my case, I will name year 7, and I'll call it Zycon. Okay, and the section is junior secondary, right? School, or you can do GSS for short. Subjects. Um, Now, because this assuming the post of a class teacher or a form tutor that has a home class. So what I'm creating now is a home class. So I'm going to call the subject, instead of naming it mathematics or something, I'll just call it general class. Now this is where uh, every other subject will be done. Now I will show you how it will be later on. Then the room has to be my name because I am the form tutor in quote, or the class teacher. So I say create. Right now, wait for it to help us create the class to move on. All right, so it's done. Now if you look here, here is the class code. here is the class code. This is what you want to share with your students. But in our own case, I won't advise you to do this, because anyone that has this code can join, which may not be security wise, may not be very good. So let's close this. So you don't want to do that. What you want to do is go to people. Now here you can add teachers or students. So in this case, I will add a teacher to my class, or you can add other teachers that need to teach subjects in your class. For example, if I have a math teacher that his name is Tope, I just type his email address, and let's say topekenny at gmail.com. I think the email address is topekenny7, if I'm correct, at gmail.com. If I click on this, it goes up. Okay, so I'll just leave it at that, but you have to add the assigned admin staff to your class. You add them here as teacher. You also add the school head as teacher. Okay, so you click on invite, and such a person will receive an email address, an email message from you, to join it. You can see invited. Fine. So you come to students. Now I know you may have more than 10-20 students, and typing their email addresses at once may be very difficult for you. So this is what I advise. On your desktop, right click on the empty space on your desktop and click on new, then select text document. I'll say it again. Right click on your desktop, go to new, then select text document. Now when you have a text document, you can now type each email address one after the other on a new line. So let's say you type a@gmail.com on line 1, add a comma at the end of it, go to the next line, type b@gmail.com, add a comma. Now A, B, C are not, of course, these are not real email addresses. These are just for example purpose. Please hear me very well. No person uses A, B, C as email address. So this is just as a means of teaching us, showing us what to do. Okay, so a@gmail.com, comma after it, b@gmail.com, comma after it, c@gmail.com. The last one does not need a comma after it. Okay, then you can now copy all these email addresses that you've typed using the comma separated values, then come to students. Now paste it in. Okay, as you can see, every email address has a comma after it apart from the last one, so that is fine because the last one does not really need it. If I press the enter key, you will notice that the classroom will automatically add them. So if I click on my space bar, you can see each has been added as an individual email address without the comma showing up. Okay, so that's nice, right? Okay, so of course I'm not adding those ones because they don't exist. So but that's how you add students to your class. So we'll go back to stream. So now let's say you've arrived at your class and you want to welcome your students. What you do is, you can see here it says share something with your class. So I click on this, then I'll just type okay, you can see it's even giving me a tip, say post now or plan ahead. That means you can do everything automated, right? The post you want to share can go to all students, can go to, if I have more classes, you will see I'll be able to click this to choose the class. Then I can say Welcome, students. Okay, this is math class. Today we'll be looking at algebra. Sorry, typographical error. Alright, so it's one of the reasons you have to plan everything beforehand so that you won't be making such mistakes while your class is on. Alright, so today we'll be looking at algebra, right? Now you can decide to post it as a schedule. For example, if your class is starting by 10, okay, you can set it to be 10 05, maybe 5 minutes after 10, to give room for the other teacher to leave, or you can put it at 10:01 depending on you. Okay, I would advise that every teacher keep to time so that your students don't get bored, so that you won't eat into someone else's time. This is very, very important. So you can post your announcement on your schedule and say, okay, this announcement should go out by 10:01. Now you can see it's not showing up yet because it's a schedule and is waiting for 10:01 tomorrow to go out. Alright, but I'll delete that because I want something that will go out now. So I'll create good day, students. Welcome to algebra class, right? Then you can post it immediately to all students, or as in to all students that are in this particular class that I've created. So I click on post. Now your welcome may continue additional files. Let's say maybe a PDF document, a worksheet, a video, or an audio file. It can be anything. Okay, so let's say, good day student, welcome to algebra class. Please watch this video as you join in. Okay, fine. So where is the video? Okay, now remember, okay, I told you before that you should have all your, or rather I wanted to announce it earlier, that you should have your windows open. If you have any material you want to share with students, maybe it's a video, make sure you have everything, you know, opened up before. So I'm just going to open YouTube algebra, right? So now it's going to give me some videos on YouTube about algebra. So I just click on the video. Now you should have watched the video before now to see if it's suitable for your class and all that. So if you are sure it is, then you can now copy it, the link. Now don't forget, the announcement says please watch this video as you join in. Okay, right, then you can continue by saying we will discuss more by 10 minutes past 10 about the video, right? So you know what you want to type. This is just an example. Okay, now you click on post. Now this goes out immediately because it's not timed. Now I have added this video, so as my students join my class, the first thing they see is, you know, my announcement, good day students. The most recent post on the class comes, you know, at the top. And of course, these students would have joined the very first class of the day. Maybe the first class of the day, it's math or English or something before you. So they are already here, so you can still post this kind of message to show that maths or algebra class has begun. Okay, and if you are still the first person in the to teach for the day, this also works for you, right? Now the class teacher uh, should be the one to welcome each class every day. Okay, let's say lessons will start by, let's say, 8. You should have sent out the link to the class to all your students to join in before everybody, or if they have joined previously, you know, as is, the online school continues, you should make it a point of duty to welcome them, you know, before the teachers will start for the day. You can also use that to get the attendance of those who are actually active in the class for the day and all that. Get them ready, get them prepared while the teachers teaching subjects will start their job. Okay, so now having done this, your students, when they join the class, they will see your announcement and then open the video to watch. Now, which is very good. Your class window will remain opened while you are watching the video. You don't have to close it. Once you click on the video, it opens a new page for you to watch it. So I'm going to close this, also close this. Now this is one way to add videos, but I don't really like it because you only see the link. Now there's another way to add videos. Now I have this link already, or I can copy it again from here. Then I go to share something with your class. Now give the announcement also. Now don't forget, this is just another method to share videos in your announcement. Please see this video and we will join, we will discuss rather more on the video by 10 past 10, right? Please keep to time. Alright, so then instead of just pasting the link, this is more interesting. You go to add, then you go to YouTube because it's a YouTube video, obviously, and then you paste that URL here and click on search. Now the video comes out better formatted than just a link, right? So you have a thumbnail that shows a kind of a preview of the video. The name of the video is actually shown here, and then the time of the video, the length of the video is also displayed. This allows you to, have an idea of what you're going to watch before going to look at it. So if I click on post, you can see it's coming out different than this first one. Now this can work if you just want to quickly share something without having to go the route of choosing YouTube and all that. But this can actually work. Okay, but for the sake of aesthetics and presentation, I think we should use this method of going to the YouTube, and doing a search like we just did for this one. Alright, so that's one method. If you also want to add other materials, maybe pictures or what have you, to your class, you can also use that method. Go into announcement. I have a photo for you, right? Then go to add. Now you can use a link. If the photo is somewhere on the internet, you can still do link. You can upload a file from your computer. You can also use your Google Drive. Now this is where things get more interesting, and I want you to master Google Drive. Now this is Google Drive. This is actually my drive on Google. Okay, wow, so I have all these pictures I didn't even remember. Okay, now you can actually pick any of the pictures, right? Double click on it. It comes here with a preview. Then you click on post, right? The video, the picture also comes up. Now don't forget, the most recent post comes at the top to show that it's the most recent. Fine. So now students can make comments on whatever photo you've posted or video or text you've posted, just like they would on Facebook or Instagram or Twitter or any other social media. So this is where you interact, with them in real time. So don't forget, we have a picture. They can click just to open the picture without having to leave, this very screen. Okay, so this is the picture that I have posted, and as you can see, it just opened right away, and then you can go back to your class and then ask a question. Okay, what can you observe about this photo, right? Then post it. Now your students, of course, they will see all this, then they can make comments on this image, just like as I've asked the question. They can keep their comments coming, and then you can even shout out to each of the students and say, okay, you Phillips or Ahmed or Emeka, please talk about this video, you know and then they respond. That's one way to keep your students active in classroom. Okay, so that's it for materials. Okay, before I go, you can also add PDF documents. Okay, and say here is your notes for this lesson, right? So then you go to add. Now here I want to use a file that is on my computer. Now once I open up that, you will see where it says select files from your computer. I click on it, and then it opens up the window. You're not seeing the window now because I'm on my computer, so I can see the window. So all I have to do is click on the file where it is, click on it, then you can see it here now. The file is already selected from my computer. Then I click on upload. Now the beautiful thing is, whichever file that I've uploaded from my computer, I can also make reference to it. I can still use it for other classes. So this is one thing I want you to remember as you take your classes. Upload once and reuse. For example, I have this file for year 7 Zycon. I can also use it for other year 7 classes that needs this note. So if there's another year 7B or something, I can use this file for them. So let's say I click on post, and I have another class already. I can just give them a message like this, then type in my announcement, let's say a reusable file, right? Then I go to add. Now all I have to do now is to click on Google Drive, because if I go to file, it means I have to upload the document again, which takes my data, which takes my time. So I don't want to do that anymore. I've already added it to a class before, so all I have to do is just go back to my Google Drive, and the file is there. I don't have to upload it again. See, that's really great. Okay, so once I click it again, I can add it for the other class I have. So this makes it easier for you to reuse your materials for multiple classes. Okay, and then in the process it saves your data. Alright, so what other thing can you post? Now you remember we have the live board video that we were taught how to use. Now the live board video is a very interactive way of teaching your subject. So let's say you have a video already on your phone or on your computer. Now the simplest thing to do is just to go to wherever the file is stored, click on add, click on file, and you look for the file on your computer and upload it the way we did. Now if you have uploaded such a video, it will also be available for you in your Google Drive. Okay, so that's fine. Now we're going to do more on Drive at a later time, but that is all for now. So the next place I want to show us is the classwork. Your changes have not been saved, discard, fine. It's the example I was trying to show us. So now if I go to classwork, now you can add assignment, you can create pop quizzes, you can create materials for your students to use. So I'm just going to show us how to add a quiz assignment. Now once I clicked on quiz assignment, it says add or create materials. Within your assignment, add or create docs, slides, sheets, drawings, and forms. So you can do a lot, here. So but for now, what we want to do is to add a blank quiz. Now remember, so let me go back. Once you click on create and quiz assignment, several things are done for you. So create a rubric and use it for grading or providing feedback. Okay, fine. Now the first thing we want to do is to add a title. So what is the title of this pop quiz? You can just call it pop quiz. Instruction says answer all. Right? Now the next thing to do after you have done this is to click on the blank quiz, which is actually a Google form, right? So now I click on the quiz, the title, no thanks. I click on the blank quiz, then I name it pop quiz. You can leave it as it is, but it's good to always rename, like I said before, and answer all, then go to question. Please, make this a convention. The first question should always be name. That's the name of your students. This is because when they submit responses, Google has not provided a way to automatically get their names from their email. I don't know why that has not been done, but they actually provided a means for you to get the student's email. Of course, I don't need that because in the first place, I had their email was where I could add them to my class. So I don't need to collect their email. So right now, what I need from them is their name to be sure I know I can differentiate who has submitted what. So make sure name is the first thing you collect. Now we don't need answer key for this because for your name there is no correct or wrong answer. You just put your name and then make it required. Everybody needs to add a name to their quiz. Of course, let's go now ahead to our question. So question 1 now can be, what is a verb? Right, like the example we used initially. Option 1 can now be an action word. Option 2 can be a name. Option 3 can be the mood, right? Okay, the mood. Can a mood be a verb? Okay, for now, I don't know. So, but the correct answer is an action word. So, I'll just say answer key. Now, verb. What is verb? Verb is an action word. Simply an action word. So, we give it 2 points. So, whoever selected this is going to get 2 points. Click on done. So now if you look up here, our total points for the quiz is currently 2 because that's what we assigned to this question, what is a verb. So let's create another one. This of course is multiple choice. you can choose the type of the question from this right hand column. Okay, so next I want to create another question. Let this be checkboxes where we have multiple correct answers. Can you say what? Okay, let's say select all animals here, right? So option 1 could be box, option 2 car, option 3 dog, option 4 lizard, option 5 fish, option 6 lipstick. Why am I using lipstick? No, shoe polish. Not a woman. Alright, so we have all these responses. Then we'll go to answer key. What happened? Okay, let's go back. I need more answers. So we'll go, then we'll say dog, right? We'll say cat. Then we'll say dessert. Okay. Now then I say answer key. Now from here we have 3 animals, right? So I'm going to select the 3 animals and give each of them a point. So the total point for this question is 3. So those who select the correct answer gets 3 points. So click on done. Now also make sure you make it required. Let's do that for this. It's required. Now they must fill this question, answer it before submitting their script. Okay, so next we have let's add another question. Let's say okay, let's say okay, lists the characteristics of a living thing, right? So paragraph. Now they can answer this. Now you can see this is a paragraph, so it means that once they give us the correct answers, you know, it's a paragraph. They can determine how the answers come in. Okay, they can decide to list it one after the other by comma, or list them line after line, because we've chosen paragraph. Okay, so now answer key. Now this is where it gets interesting. Here you have to leave it at 0, because you may not, if you say you want to give it points and they just provide answers, you are not sure if the answers are correct before you assign points. So let's just leave it at 2 points. Now this is to know that whether they've imputed something or not. So let's leave it at 2 points. Then we'll go ahead to create another question. Let's call this excuse me, let's call this what, okay, let's say how many legs does an ant have? Okay, so now we have the first question. The first option is 5, next one is 6, next one is 7, last one is 8. Right, so now we have we can now choose the answer key, choose the correct one, give it a point, let's say 2 points, and then done. Right, so we have our question set up. Now the next thing we need to do is to go to settings, and then make some adjustment here. Now, limit to one response. It means that they need to sign into their Gmail before they can answer this, so that's fine. We want to be sure that it's a real human being that's actually answering. Okay, now presentation, we need to show progress bar. That's okay. Shuffle question order, we don't really need that, because if you do that, it means that the questions will be rearranged each time someone else opens the quiz. Now we don't want that, because even your name will be rearranged along with the other questions, and we don't want that. We want the name to be the first thing we see. Okay, so leave that unchecked. Now, quizzes is the next place we want to go. Make this a quiz. It's already a quiz. Release grade, I would advise you leave it at later, after you have reviewed it and you have marked their script. Then you can release the grade at a later time. Now, what can they see? Their missed questions, their correct answers, and their point values. Okay, then you click on save. Please feel free to watch these videos as many times as you need to for clarity. Okay, so now you have done this. You've gone to settings, you're done. You can also change the theme and choose another color. Let's say you want to use red, you want to use orange. It's all left to you, but I'll just go with the default. Alright, you can do that. You can also look at how it is, the preview of the quiz, then you close it. Now you're done with this. Everything you've done here now is automatically saved. You don't have to do anything here at this quiz. All you have to do now is close this page, go back to your classroom, and then you can see where it says saved, right? So now click on this to assign it. You can try to give it a schedule, maybe for after your class, or you want them to have it immediately. So you say assign. It's going to assign this assignment to everybody in your class. Now it's saying add a topic, so you can say got it. We can actually view the assignment, as you can see. Right now it will be automatically assigned to all the students in your class. Don't forget that, all the students in your class. So go back. Some primary school teachers asked if they can create, assign classwork to different groups of their students. That is possible. Okay, that is possible. You can do it two ways. You can either create 2 copies of this class, one for each group of the students, or you can create this 1 copy and then assign your classwork and assignment to a specific set of your students. That is possible. How you do that is to let's go back to create quiz assignment, and then you can see we have all students here. If I had many students in this class, I will have more options here. Okay, so when you click on this, you'll be able to see who you want to give the assignment to. If it's all students, if it's a select few of your students, if it's a group of your students, you can also do that. Right, so the next thing I want us to do now is go back to create, and shows that we can create materials like your lesson notes that we posted the other time. You can do it from classwork, maybe call it lesson note, right? Give it whatever description you want, then click on add. You can go to where the file is located. Maybe it's in your drive already, it's a link, it's a file on your computer, something on YouTube, or you can create docs. Right here you can create slides. So let's try the slides method. Now Firefox present. Okay, so your browser, if you're using Chrome, you may not see this, but because I'm using Firefox currently, so I'll just click on options and say allow pop-ups for classroom. Fine. Now it will come here. Now this is where you can create PowerPoint like presentations that you want to share with your class. So give it a title, maths, then subtitle by Benjamin. Okay, now slide 2. Let's add another slide and say what. I say okay, let's say addition. Then come here and say 2 plus 2 equals 4, right? Then we have this already. Then you say share. Give your untitled document name before it is shared. Say save. Then share with others. Okay, you can get a shareable link. You can share with people. Okay, but now you click on done. You can get a shareable link and then click on done. Fine. Now after you've done this, you go back to your class, right? And if you look at the presentation, it's already saved. So good, that's what we want. Now the presentation is here. You can post it immediately, not using the share button here. Just like while we were creating the quiz, we have a send button. Here we also have a share button, but we don't want to do that because already we want it to just be with our class. So you can close this, go back to your class and click on post. Okay, so when you do post, you can post now or you can post at the schedule. You can create a topic and say maths, then addition, right? Then once you've done that, you can click on post. Now it has posted the lesson notes, right? So if you click on it, you will see maths, Google slide, then it will open up. So your students can just go through the slide and they are fine, right? So you can do that. You can also create other things, other materials by we just did slide. You can just create a document, you can create a form, you can create drawings. Now drawings is useful for those in early years where they need to show pictures or shapes. For example, let's say we are in drawing now and I want to just create some shapes and have my students identify it. Okay, so you can see there are several tools to use here. We have shapes, we have the lines, we have text. You can even add images from your computer. So first I want to add a shape, so click on shapes, pick okay, this is a square, right? Click another one, shapes, take right a circle, okay, then I click another shape, maybe create an oval, right? So I click another shape, add okay, these are advanced shapes. Let's just have one more where it's triangle. Okay, so this is a triangle, right? So now I have 4 shapes on my drawing. So all I have to do is to add text and say 1, add another text, say 2, right, add another text, 3, another text, 4. So I have all these shapes. Then I can just say okay, we're not going to share it already. I just want to save it, so I'll just do share so that we can save it. Say shapes, right? So save, done. Because we are not sharing it using this button, we want it to appear in our classroom. So this that I have created you can actually use it, send it to your students and have them identify using uh, Google Form. So how do we do that? So this is the shape we have created, right? So you can also create a form, right? Then in this form, you want them to answer what you've done in the shape. So by saying identify shapes. Okay, so don't forget first response should be name, and the next one, shape 1 is okay. Then you give your options, right? Square, right? 2 square, we have oval, we have circle, we have triangle. Good. So now for shape 1, I think shape 1 is square, so the correct answer now, good, you can see that there's the option to select the correct answer is not here. So I have to go back to my settings, go to quizzes, make this a quiz, then later after review, then presentation, show link to submit another response, no, show progress bar. Okay, fine. So I say save. Now I can now go to my answer key. Shape 1 is actually square. I say done. Now I can duplicate this, right? I say shape 2 is, I think shape 2 is oval, right? If I'm correct, I hope I'm correct. So I go to my answer key. This is not the correct one. Oval is now the correct one. Click on done. Copy it again. Shape 3 is I hope I'm correct. Maybe let's say circle, then circle, not oval. It's no longer oval. Right? Oh, what did I do? And so let me just add oval. Add this answer key, circle. Shape 2 is oval, shape 3 is circle. That is the correct one. I click on done. I duplicate these two. Then I go to my answer key, uncheck circle and pick on triangle. So as shape 4 is so done. I repeat, say shape 4 please. Now all has to be required, then we need to give it points, so 2 points for each of the questions. This is required 2 points. Okay, we should have done this even before duplicating so that it will be faster. So required, then 2 points, and the fourth question is required, also has 2 points. So that's 8 in total. So shape 1 is the square, shape 2 is oval, shape 3 is circle, shape 4 is triangle. Okay, so we have saved. Entitled question name. There's no option. Why was there an option? Short answer. Okay, so now we can see there's email here. We don't need it, so I go back to say collect email addresses, limits to 1 response. Click on save. Fine. So we've done this. We don't need to send. We want it to be in class, so we can close this up. It's showing up here. So if we click on these forms now, we have that. So 1 is square, 2 is oval, 3 is circle, 4 is triangle. Okay, so I go back to my drawings to confirm that my shapes are correctly numbered. 1 is square, 2 is oval, 3 is circle, 4 is triangle. So you can still move this around and bring it under here. 1, can put it a little bit up so it's close to the object. Now you can do this to create your, we discussed it before. Now click on close. Now identify the shapes in the drawing. Okay, then post. Now after posting this, you go back to your stream. You can see them. Okay, posted a new assignment in Popquiz, posted a lesson note, posted identify the shapes in the drawing. Now once you click on it, you can look at the shape, then answer the quiz. It's very simple, and it gets your students engaged. Okay, so that's it for the classwork, for the stream, for the people. Now every student is automatically graded. Okay, now set up your grading system. Okay, so let's do that. Set up your grading system. General class code. Stream. Can student post comments? You decide if they can post comments. So students can only comment, they can't post something new. Show condensed notifications. Okay, yes. Show the TF and no. Grade calculation, no overall grade, total points. Okay, show overall grade to students. I think that should be turned off until after everything. So add grade category. This is one thing we've not covered before. So the grade category is actually a place where you can choose what points to, in school we have A as A plus as 100, add another one like that, B is so maybe 90, like that. So you create your grade point and you save it. So it's always good to set up your class after before you start with your students. So don't forget, go to grades, go to settings, set up your grading so that students will know what grade they have, or you too can know, okay, A plus is 100 and like that. Alright, so now this is not all we can do in learning it. From time to time we'll be meeting again. If there's a new feature we need to learn, we will still talk about it, or maybe we'll have a video conferencing, or I'll make a video like this to teach us how to use all the features of the Google Classroom. Okay, so I'm going to close this for now, and then back to the Google Drive. I told us I want us to explore. Now, once you have a drive, notice this folder here called Classroom. That's because I've created some things in my Classroom using my Gmail that I used to sign into Classroom. Now I can double click this Classroom, and every material that I've uploaded, you see I have year 7 Opal, I have year 7 junior secondary school. Now all the file I've uploaded, the notes, the quiz, or everything I've done, the shapes I created and all, are going to be in that folder. Okay, that's interesting, right? So there is actually no wasted resources. Everything you have uploaded or you have created on your Classroom will be automatically stored for you. excuse me. Okay, so now another thing you can do is to create a folder and call it my materials, right? Create it. Now that folder is added to your folders just inside classroom. Okay, that's because I've selected classroom. So let me go back to my main drive. I have my main drive. There's an automatically created folder called classroom. Then inside classroom, when I clicked on new folder, it automatically created my materials inside classroom folder that was automatically created by Google Classroom. So inside these materials, I can now upload files from my system or from my phone that I want to use to be teaching my students in all my classes. So this can be easily reached from your classroom anytime you need it. So Google Drive is a very good way to store your files, although you are limited to 15 gigabytes, which means that if you've uploaded materials and your uploaded materials have become obsolete or no longer relevant to what you are currently teaching, you can delete them to make room for new materials, or if you want on your own, you can buy more storage. Alright, if you have the money. Fine. So that's it about this. Now the final thing I want to show us is Google Hangouts. Okay, now Hangout is where you make video calls with your students when you need to. Don't forget I say when you need to. Okay, now Hangout is free to use for as long as you want to use it, but you are limited to 25 participants for each video call. So that means you as a teacher, you are one of the participants along with 24 of your students. So currently at Fontage, most of our classes average 22, 23 thereabout. So it should be sufficient for you know, your call. Your number is okay for your calls, your free calls. So all you have to do is go to new conversation. Now because it's a classroom, you have to create a group, so new group. So let's say I have 12 or 15 classes. I can create a group for each of my class. So I just say year 7 Zacon, and I click the checkbox. Now this is our group chat. Now nobody is here yet. You can either add students by creating this joining by link, then copy the link. Okay, click OK. Now you go back to your classroom and make it an announcement. Share something with your class. Say, hey guys, let's meet on Hangout by 4 p.m. okay, today. See you there. Now here is the link. Now you paste it to your classroom and click on post. Now anyone who clicks on this link right now can join your class. So by the time it's 4 o'clock and people have been joining, now this you can use your mobile, you can use your desktop. I'm currently using my desktop, so anyone who clicks on the link, you will see them show up here one after the other. Then when you have your enough people to start, you can just click on this camera icon and your call will start. Though a new window will open for you. Now this is Firefox. This is the first time I'm using this, so it's asking me, you want to share your microphone, say allow, share your camera, allow. Now it's saying you are the only one here, invite people. Now don't forget, I can't be the only one to make a video call, of course, so this won't show up when other students have joined. This is only showing up because I'm the only one here. So that's it about that, and when the call is over, I just end the call, and that is it. Alright, so Now, that's it about Hangouts, and that's it for our classes today. So please, if you have any question, you can leave your comments on this video, then I will attend to it. Okay, now I will still be making another video to teach us how we can use uh, an application called OBS to record your desktop just the way I'm doing now to create this tutorial, and it will be useful for you if you want to make presentations using your laptop that you want to send to your students. Thank you for your time, and do have a pleasant day. Thank you.